Hello, welcome to Angles Foldable. So you should have your foldable that I gave you in class that you can fill out as we go. You will want something to color with so that you can mark the angles. You will see what I'm talking about in a few moments. And then the other thing is that if you forgot your foldable at school, maybe you could print one out from Schoology, and if not, that's okay, make notes. It's not that bad. All right, here we go. So turn to the Pairs tab. I thought this was animated. Apparently, I forgot to do that. So what is an angle? You're going to fill in the table there. An angle is two rays that share a common endpoint. The vertex is that endpoint. So it's a vertex of an angle is the common endpoint of the rays forming the angle. So in our image here, we have B as our, we have B as our vertex. And how do you name an angle? You can call it by its vertex, so angle B. But in this case, it's a little bit tough because we have two different angles, or three angles, if you consider the two together, being formed here. So the other way to call it is its ray, so A, to its vertex, to its ray. So we have three different angles. We have A, B, C, or we can call it B, C, A. We could do CBD or DBC, or we can have ABD or DBA. All right, then the other thing you can do is call it by its number. I just put the 2 in here, so we have angle 1 and we have angle 2. And so 4 different ways to name the angles, because we can name it just by its vertex. We can name it in either order, so that's 1, 2, 3, and then 4 for the number. All right, so that's what the book means when it asks you to do that. Okay, the vertical angles tab. All right, now I'm animated. Woo! So a vertical angle is formed by, oh my goodness, formed by two intersecting lines, BY, not BUY. Miss Narrow is here behind me laughing at me. All right.
Bad grammar.
Oh my goodness, the wrong by. All right, homophones. All right, homophones? Mm-hmm. Okay. Opposite of each other. They're opposite of each other in the two lines forming the two angles. And they have equal measures. So here's our thing here, and all of those points are there, right there. So here are our vertical angles. 1 and 3 and 4 and 2 are our vertical angle pairs. I also ask for you to fill out in the foldable what our supplementary pairs are. So angles 1 and 2 add up to 180 degrees together. They make a straight line. So that's a supplementary pair. 2 and 3, 3 and 4, and 4 and 1, or you could say 1 and 4. All right, here we go. Vertical angles tab continued, our algebra example. So we have two problems here. We can say 2x plus 2, wait, there it is, 2x plus 2 equals 130 because they're vertical angles. So these two match up. So we have our equation like that, 2x plus 2 equals 130. We subtract 2 from both sides. So 2x equals 128. We divide both sides by 2 so that x equals 64. Now, I went ahead and I did the other example with y. So if you would like to pause this, try it, and then check in, you can do that. All right, so 3y minus 10 equals 50. We add 10 to both sides. So we get 3y equals 60. Divide both sides by 3 so that we see y equals 20. Now, if you wanted to know what the actual angle value is, you would need to put the value of x back in or the value of y back in and calculate. But since we already know the opposite, the vertical angle opposite, we already know those values. So, no, either way. All right. Classifying angles tab. So under classifying angles, we have this lovely graphic at the top, and here's where we're going to color. So, a straight angle, an angle that measures exactly 180 degrees. It makes a straight line. So under the degrees tab, you'll say x equals 180, and I colored in that straight line there. If you need more time to get this written down, pause as you go. All right. obtuse angle. I know it's not the easiest to see, but it says obtuse angle, any angle that measures greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. So in our degrees section, we'll say 90 is less than X is less than 180. I colored that in blue, so our obtuse angle is greater than 90 but less than 180. Okay. Our next one is the right angle, an angle that measures exactly 90 degrees, so X has to be 90. And I have that formed right here. So the right angle, and remember that little square symbol to notate that as well. And last but not least, an acute angle, an angle with a measure greater than 0 degrees and less than 90 degrees. So 0 is less than X is less than 90. And you can see my purple angle there labeled to match the different colors. So I would mark those, mark your angles so you have a little diagram so you can see what they look like visually, and get that filled in. Pause as needed. All right, so back to the pairs tab. We need to fill in this information. Adjacent angles, angles that have the same vertex, share a common side, and do not overlap. Oh, those are my fingers. Okay, so they share a common ray, they share a vertex, that's a common side, common ray, and they don't overlap each other. Congruent angles are angles having the same measure, and vertical, for example, would be a congruent angle. There's a bunch of other names, of course. Complementary angles are two angles are complementary if the sum of their measures is 90 degrees. So they add up to make 90 degrees. Okay? And supplementary angles, two angles are supplementary if their sum measures 180 degrees. So these could be adjacent, they could be congruent, but their sum would be 90 degrees for complementary and 180 for supplementary. Okay, so complementary angles examples. All right, so our degree example, since their sum is 90 degrees, we'd have 35 plus 55 is 90. We could say 90 degrees minus 22, so we know one of them. The other one would have to be 68. Okay, so that's how we'd use that in a solving sort of way. An algebra example, 28 plus 2x equals 90 degrees. So we would solve this two-step equation. Subtract 28 from both sides. So you have 2x equals 62. Divide both sides by 2. And x would be 31 degrees. All right, so those are my examples. Pause as needed. For supplementary angle examples, their degree sum is 180, so we could say 135 plus 45 equals 180 degrees. We could say 180 minus 122 is 58 degrees to find that missing angle. And an algebra example, 123 plus 3x equals 180. So two-step equation again. I'm going to subtract 123 from both sides. 3x equals 57. Divide both sides by 3, and x would equal 19. Okay. Oh, okay. So that was the end of the slideshow. So that's the end of our video. Hopefully you have your whole foldable filled out, rewind as needed, and we will be doing practice problems with these, and you can use your foldable tomorrow in class. Have a good one.